Hey everybody, what's up? What's going on? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar. Welcome to another installment, episode slash chapter, I don't know, of Rant Cafe, where this week we will be talking about what makes a great anime character and character in general, but specifically through the medium of anime and manga. And join me today, we got some old school cats here. It includes Nuxtaku, but we also got Anime Recon just popped in, aka Havoc, no Pico. We got Briggs All Day Anime and Nawagata. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Yo, that was a great introduction. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. And I like how everyone said like "hey" at the same time, so it all just like kind of molded together.
A party.
We have become one. 69 Rant Cafe.
Well, I understand. We have Recon here, so we try to blend him into the background as much as possible. And he's here.
He's
What
alive.
happened to the time? I thought we started a little bit later on.
Oh yeah, we switched times, man.
Oh, okay. That's
The
why.
time has changed, and
Oh,
Europe
yeah,
hasn't
that's
done
right.
it. Europe is doing it later this month. That's the difficulty.
Oh.
What's up, Anbu and other people in the chat, Original and stuff? Welcome, everyone. Shura is there. And yeah, so one thing is an interesting thing that I've been doing lately is I've been rereading the entire Seven Deadly Sins manga right up to and I just finished today right up to the latest chapter. And one thing that really struck me while reading it is how great the characters are in the Seven Deadly Sins, especially their backstories. Like Seven Deadly Sins character backstories are just awesome. Like they're all nuanced. They're all very interesting. Even like great anime like Full Metal Alchemist, they have great character relationships and developments. However, I wouldn't say that their backstories are all that special. Whereas with the Seven Deadly Sins, like the backstories are really, really cool, and they really influence the rest of the story in a profound way. So yeah, I think this is a great time to discuss this kind of topic.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
absolutely.
What are you going to say?
I'll say that the Ancient Magus Bride has a good.
No, actually, I was going to say our favorite Spike from Cowboy Bebop had such an amazing background story that it built up throughout the series and changed a lot, like brought new presentation to the series and brought new feeling to it.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of really good examples of excellent characters in anime, but also I want to make sure that we talk about what actually makes an anime character great. And I invite you guys in the chat to give me your opinions as well, except Caster for Life, because your opinion, where you're talking about Caster from Fate Zero, who I fucking loathe, doesn't count, bro.
How can you not like Caster from Fate Zero? He is easily one of the most brilliant and cleverly written anime protagonists of all time.
Did you just say protect? Like this coming from a guy who
Caster is the
sells Lord
protagonist of
Twigo
Fate Zero.
t-shirts. A guy who sells Lord Twigo t-shirts, Nuxtaku.
You don't see the brilliance of the Lord. You just right now. We're explaining to everyone how Seven Deadly Sins characters have the greatest backstories, and who has better than Lord Twigo.
Okay, I'm not saying every single Seven Deadly Sins characters, like not like random Human 8 doesn't have a great backstory, but that's not the point.
How dare you compare Lord Twigo, the mighty and valiant, to Random Human 8?
Well, Random
God.
Human 8 actually is quite a game changer, I guess you could say, in that chapter.
We have
last
Caster
episode.
for Life in the comments who says Nux knows what's up. That's right, Caster for Life.
Yeah, whatever. Gilgamesh says Gilgamesh is a great character. Yeah, I do. I would say, I don't know if I would say great, but Gilgamesh is a really good character. And one of the things that I think makes a great character, as opposed to a good character, because you can have a good character that's relatable, that's fun, their relationships develop really nicely. But I think a great character has to have a few attributes, not just one of these, but a few. One thing, they have to be memorable. So they have to have, there has to be something about them that makes you remember them, but not in an annoying way. Because like you can have a quirky
Like
character,
Random
Tekma
Human
from-
8 could do his job amazing, and you just won't remember the guy.
Stop talking about Random Human 8, okay? We agreed before this that we wouldn't make the whole stream about Random Human 8. Now, so
because he could take up the whole stream.
So I think you can have an annoying character that's memorable for being annoying,
Like
but I
Recon.
don't think that's necessarily a great character. I think great character will be memorable for a good thing. Like you will be like, yo, I love that guy, he's cool and interesting. However,
Like
he will
Briggs.
also have a good backstory, so he's coming from somewhere. So like Spike, you can be like, Spike's a cool guy, but if you don't know his backstory it's not quite the same character. You don't know what drives him to have the philosophy he does and why he acts the way he does and his opinion on life.
Mhm.
And also, I think a third factor is this character in some way inspirational, or do they have a philosophy that you can actually understand where they're coming from? Because you can have a villain that's just evil for the sake of being evil, and even if they look cool and they're memorable, they have cool catchphrases, they'll never be a great villain unless they have a philosophy that you can kind of see where they're coming from. And
Well,
same thing goes for
Gilgamesh
Hero.
wants to own everything, so that's a philosophy that many people can get behind.
Well,
Who wants
every
the
He
best
doesn't
villain
want to own
for
everything. He has everything the world has to offer.
Or he thinks he does own everything.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Gilgamesh.
King of Kings.
Yes. So his philosophy, but Gilgamesh's philosophy is also like, the weak shouldn't survive because that's bad for humanity as a whole. So he says, today in modern times, we live in a time of weakness where everyone's weak, and in the long run, allowing that will destroy the human race. So you have to kind of cull the human race so that the strongest survive, so that overall the whole of the earth and humanity will be better off. So I mean, you're not necessarily agreeing with them, of course, but you can kind of see where an ancient king with these ideas of nobility and great warrior spirit would be thinking this type of stuff, right? It's not just some guy, I'm going to kill for the sake of killing, or I'm going to steal for the sake of having money or whatever, right?
No, he believes in, he genuinely wants the prosperity of his kingdom, of his nation, whatever. And he's going to do whatever it takes to get that. And I do understand the philosophy. And that's why Fate Zero, because none of that was exhibited at all in Fate Stay Night. But that's why Fate Zero is one of the greatest anime of all time.
Exactly. And that is why I really enjoyed Fate Zero, is because you get to explore more about the characters, Alexander being a great example, and Gilgamesh.
Alexander is the Kamina of the modern age.
Anime of all time. Did you just say that?
Fate Zero?
Fate Zero?
Absolutely one of the greatest anime of all time.
Shit.
I can't.
How can it be the greatest?
I can't. I
didn't say greatest. I said one of
say it. Greatest anime of all
I said
time.
one of the
Yeah, I
greatest.
know for a fact it's not.
He said one of
I said
them.
one
He's
of the
saying
greatest.
one of the greatest.
I
I
didn't
mean,
say the greatest.
Pointless argument. He said one of the greatest.
Oh.
And while it's
Yeah.
not my one of the greatest, I definitely think it's a really good anime.
Dude,
Yeah.
you need to rewatch Fate Zero.
Knox definitely has the right to say that. I will rewatch it, but I guess my thing is with Fate Zero, it has a bit of a nihilistic message to it, which I don't necessarily like in my anime.
Well, the thing about Fate Zero is there are 7 perspectives in the anime, and each one of them is fleshed out. Some aren't as deep as others, and that's why there's less time spent on some. However, they are each fleshed out, and you're looking at Kiritsugu, who had a fascinating character, fascinating backstory. As far as characters, Kiritsugu is probably my favorite main character in anime.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
Luffy's great, but, you know.
Luffy,
What's his
see,
name?
I was just about to say that is One Piece had some of the most iconic characters with background stories and build up to all of the characters. And
So I've never had a series like One Piece that consistently makes me like on the verge of tears every character backstory.
exactly.
Zoro is probably the deepest character in One Piece.
all of them had
I mean, like Brook.
backgrounds.
I don't
Not
love.
Robin.
I don't love Brook,
bad.
but his backstory was unbelievable.
Brooks was amazing, and Robin really hit me the hardest. Robin, oh my god, like that.
So the thing I liked about Robin's backstory was when it was told. Like it was told already well after we knew her, well after she joined the Straw Hats. Already
Exactly.
during the whatever it was called, Water
Just her
7.
screaming that she wants to live. That will always
That
be
was-
embedded in my mind forever.
The way that story was told was brilliant. Like there's good character writing, and then there's good
Even
timing.
side characters, like take Vivi for instance. You know what I mean? Someone who was just with the crew for a little bit. You even got a whole entire background story and development of
I'm
her.
so happy she didn't stay with the crew. Oh my god.
I thought it
found
was
her
actually
annoying.
cool how they left, like
Yeah.
raising all the wrists
And
up
then
like
Fairy
that.
Tail completely ripped off that farewell, picking up their arms.
Well, maybe, or they were ripping off of One Piece since One Piece is well over 20 years old.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're ripping off One Piece.
Oh, I thought you said the other way around. I'm sorry.
Oh god, can you guys just finish the freaking circle jerk for One Piece? Anyways,
What?
Are you surprised? Are you
They
surprised
had
that I didn't
amazing
jump in there for a
characters.
second?
Briggs,
I didn't
thank
jump in there
you
at
for
all.
restraining yourself. Thank you. Um, Nox, you would actually, I think, really enjoy reading the Seven Deadly Sins manga because the characters are really fleshed out. The backstories are awesome. So, stop reading only one manga in your life and get to work, bro.
Yeah, so
So-
I read manga if I'm not interested in the anime because I prefer the experience through the anime. So like I read Berserk, I read One Piece, and that's because I don't like the Berserk anime that we're getting, and I don't like the One Piece anime that we're getting.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the anime, it's going to take who knows how many years before they get to all the backstories in the Seven Deadly Sins.
I've seen a lot of them, and I watch Briggs' videos. Some of them. So
Well, I
Well,
love
why'd that make you
Briggs.
laugh? Why'd that make you laugh, Nux?
I laugh because I don't watch I don't watch Animax explained videos, all of them.
Well, like I love Briggs, okay, but it's not the same thing as reading
And I'll
manga.
explain to you why
Yeah.
I watch Briggs's explained videos sometimes above all others. And that's because sometimes if there's a small topic and I see a 10-minute video, I'm like, this topic is only really 3-4 minutes long. That means we're getting 6 minutes of Q&A at the end of the video, and that's amazing.
Just true. I mean, it's better than extending the 4 minutes of content to 10 minutes.
Right. No, like you see some videos just like one point to make and just made over like 10-15 minutes. Like
So I
20
just want
minutes.
to touch upon backstories real quick because you guys both brought them up, and I think the reason why you like the characters are so lovable in the Seven Deadly Sins and One Piece is they are like very over the top characters, and they have like extremely strong and overpowered, just crazy in every way. But I feel like if they didn't have the
Yeah, like
backstories,
Usopp.
it wouldn't give them an opportunity. It's a great tool to like bring out their development because it's hard to develop someone who's like super like extreme and isn't going to change much throughout the story. So by giving a backstory, they're able to like do that development. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I see what you mean because like if they're like these super powerful, larger than life characters, it's hard to relate to them on a human level. But if you actually show their backstory and how they got where they are and the struggles they've been through, then you can actually relate, even though they're really powerful.
There was even
Exactly.
good development though for the One Piece characters, even with like take away the background stories from each character. The fact that they had a time skip throughout it and having to show the development to show that they were
they really
not
had one
powerful
time
enough to
skip,
go to
and
the
they
new
had-
world.
They really only had one time skip. The rest of the
That's
time,
what I'm talking about. Like just because of that one time skip showing that these guys were nowhere near powerful enough to go to the new world was good enough like realization to showing the characters that no, they're not overpowered, they're not that strong, but the villains are. And
see,
each
the thing
step
about
in this
One
new
Piece is
character that's
I would never categorize the main cast in One Piece as overpowered because it makes sense that they're as strong as they are. Whereas in the beginning of the Seven Deadly Sins, they were wrecking the competition, completely overpowering everyone. Like
agreed.
in the beginning of season 2, it's like, what's his face? Little Pig got one of those Saiyan scouter thingies, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're over 3,000." So like, and everyone else was like 2,000, 1,000. So like, they're a huge head and shoulders above everyone else. And I love how it makes sense and how it's explained later on. But in the beginning, they're introducing the characters to you as a fun cast. It's like, look, we're having a fun, happy, lighthearted show. They're adventuring. They're taking down the enemy. And then you're like, but by the way, it gets deep. Like stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then they get like real intense backstories. And that's why the Seven Deadly Sins is pushed forward right directly by its cast. It's not like the overarching plot that's so brilliant and captivating. It's just the characters.
Yeah, I agree. Like the plot basically serves the characters rather than the characters being made to serve the plot, which is good. Like obviously if a plot is really good, then you can kind of deal with that. But with Seven Deadly Sins, and I mean with like most shonen, right, because they have to be so long, it really is the characters kind of pushing the plot forward. But I agree with you, like Seven Deadly Sins draws you in terms of like just kind of fun-hearted humor and action, and you're like, oh, this is awesome, I'll watch this for fun. But then once you get into it, especially when you look at all the manga backgrounds and stuff like that, then you really, and now actually in the anime now we're getting, like Bond's background, which is really, really deep and heartbreaking. So I think it's a very, very...
And if you're curious, feel free to check out my overpowered analysis on the main cast of Seven Deadly Sins because I go through this stuff.
Yeah, so everyone's channel links are in the description, but definitely don't click on Nux's now because he's shamelessly self-promoting. No, it's cool.
For you guys, if you want to see it, not
No,
that I
it's
want
for
to
your
take
own
you-
good to watch Nux talk. He is he is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's a terrible person, but he's a great.
What
I
a
hope
terrible
about
friend
some
I am.
fairy tale.
So,
no, Recon.
so Recon, why
just
is
wanna say-
Kirito the
I just
greatest
wanna
character
say,
ever? Let's
before
hear
we
about
go
it.
on-
Yes, I was about to
No.
bring that up.
Before we
actually.
go on to Recon, I want to say in the chat we had some comments. Rex was saying invite Double 4 Anime into this Rant Cafe. Yeah, that would be great.
We should do a shirtless episode.
Shura Prince
What?
said Lucy from Elfen Lied is a great character. And I definitely think that's true because that's an example of a character who does horrible things, but because of the character's backstory, because of the great writing, you still can relate to this character and feel bad for this character, even though they've done horrible, unforgivable things to innocent people. So I think that's one of those characters that is really memorable, really great because of that. It's like they make her into this villain, but not completely a villain. You understand where she's coming from. She has regrets. It's the relationships develop. It's really, really good. Recon. Okay, give me some good characters that you think are great, but give me actual reasons, not just it's a great character because it's cool.
All right, fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Kirito because he's my favorite.
All right,
Okay,
everyone,
give
can we
me
please
why-
give
why is
Recon
Kirito
like
a great
3-4 minutes of silence so he can actually flesh out his reasoning?
I mean, I have my reasons for why he's OP and he's very memorable.
Care to
In the
share?
series, he's the Black Swordsman. Everybody knows
That's
that.
good character writing.
Yeah,
Okay,
he has
Knox,
good character.
Knox,
right?
you have to let him actually
He's an
talk.
overpowered character. He's called the
Recon,
Black
Recon,
Swordsman. Everybody
explain
calls
to
him
me-
the beater and the cheater because he played the beta and shit. And he
Like
keeps on
1,000
progressing
other
through the
people.
levels, and everyone knows he's so overpowered. He takes down bosses on his own, and he's
Yo.
a solo player. And yeah, those are all the reasons why. He's a
Those
good
are
main
all the
character.
reasons. So we can
Okay,
pick,
Knox, calm down.
we
Recon,
can pick them
what
apart
you
now.
just said in no way explains why Kirito is a good character. All it does is you just describe him, his characteristics. But why is he a great character in your opinion? Why do you like him as a character?
Because he's overpowered and he takes down bosses. What didn't you understand?
No, but that doesn't make sense. You can have a character that's a terrible person that's powerful. So why is Kirito
I would
a
like
good
him.
character?
I think
he's
Recon
he has a
likes-
good personality.
And not only that,
I
I
like
think
him.
Recon really likes the fact
He's not
that he
annoying.
is relatable. It's relatable to be a human that's stuck into this parallel universe versus just somebody that wakes up in the zone. Like you get to see Kirito and his body, you know what I mean, and know that his real body is in this world. You know what I mean? And I guess through the anime series, from what I was told from SAO fans, is that they start revealing more about his character because you start seeing what's happening in the real world and what's going on while the kids are passed out in the game. And I guess that adds a lot of build up to like who Kirito is and his personality as well.
Well, I genuinely want Recon to tell me though, like why he likes the character.
So I
just told you
personally,
everything.
Knox,
I
I
personally,
just said I want Recon to tell me, and
I
you start
literally
saying,
told you
personally."
everything.
I personally
He wants to hear from your heart.
Kirito as a character. I actually really like him as a character, and I just played devil's advocate because Recon isn't really explaining himself.
Well,
I
I
can
want
tell you why
him
he's
to
a-
actually explain himself.
He
just told
did.
you everything.
No,
You-
Recon, you didn't though. All you said was he is a skilled player at the game, which many other people are. And there's many characters that are skilled in anime that are in no way great characters. So what makes Kirito unique and a great character compared to all the other characters in anime? Recon.
I don't know. He just relates other characters.
So,
I mean, so many characters are the same as Kirito.
What?
I think you're able to relate to
I just
Kirito
don't-
maybe because like
I
he's a
just
normal
literally
guy. He's
explained
an anime,
everything.
not an anime. He's a gaming nerd that has no reason to be as strong as he is. He's thrown into this world, so he's actually like relatable. He's like so overpowered, but he's still relatable because he's just a normal guy.
He wants
And
to hear
many
him
ma-
say it.
I know, but it wasn't happening,
this
and
is
we
a
got to move.
Recon
Okay,
exercise.
guys, I'm trying to get Recon to develop as a character because he
Oh, for
does
fuck's
not
sake.
explain himself well, and I want to genuinely.
What do you want me
understand.
to say?
Like, I genuinely want you to explain why you think Kirito is a great character compared to some other characters who you might not think are great. So, why is Kirito a great character whereas the guy from Smartphone is not?
Because he's a good player. Because from the guy from smartphone, he is a Kirito lookalike, and people are just copying him. It's like so many anime.
You do realize Kirito is also a lookalike from other series, but obviously there are things about Kirito that are better than Smartphone Guy, because I liked Kirito in many ways, but I do not like Smartphone Guy. Did you ever see Infinite Stratos?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Kirito is a carbon copy of the main character of Infinite Stratos with slight nuances that put him apart.
Yeah, but in Infinite Stratus, the guy is like he's a complete noob.
What's that supposed to mean? He's this
I mean,
OP guy. He gets
scared of
armed.
everything. He gets scared of the girls and shit. But Kirito, he's serious.
He gets awkwarded out all the time.
No, not all times.
I don't think Smartphone Guy is a bad character. I think all the side characters and the world and everything else is a bad character. It's a bad story and is not very well done. But I don't think the actual character of the Smartphone Guy is inherently any different from Kirito. Kirito's just thrown into a cool game in a cool world with some okay side characters, while Smartphone had nothing else going for it.
Well, I would say different. Smartphone Guy is the opposite of edgy. Like, Kirito at least tries to be edgy. Smartphone Guy is in a world where nothing poses any threat to him, and he has no reason to change his emotions whatsoever. Kirito, even though he wins, and even though he wins because he got a second sword, whoa, but the bottom line is he doesn't know if he'll win. And
well, that's why I think it's more the world than
he's in a much more nerve-wracking mindset than Smartphone Guy, who's just, let's push a button and shoot lightning at every opponent in the entire planet. Spoilers, he does that.
And for that reason, I think also Ainz is a much better character in Overlord, because even though he is OP, the world actually makes him have to strategize and be careful of certain things. And I think that second season is moving too slowly and focusing too much on side characters, but I still like the fact that Ainz, as OP as he is, there's still unknowns, and he has to, create a strategy and actually face challenges. Whereas, if you have every power ever and you're just like kind of strolling around this fantasy world with this self-insert crap, like that I think is the difference between a great character and a character that could be good. Like if you relate to a character a lot, like Deku or Kirito or whatever, and you just think that they're an average person who is thrust into this above average situation and they develop as a character, that to me can be a good character for sure. But to me, a great character has to be something more. They have to have a great backstory, be inspirational in a way that I could, like, I don't just want to pretend like I'm this character. I want to strive to be like this character in some way. He inspires me rather than just, he's an average high school kid and he's developing as a character as he grows, just like I am. Like, that can be a good character, but not great, in my opinion. But that's my own way of looking at things.
All right. Wasn't me.
By the way, Fennel keeps asking, who is the worst Seven Deadly Sins character? And it's obviously Lord Twigo, which is why
What?
Noxtaku sarcastically.
I'm out of here.
Sarcastically.
Thanks for inviting me. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore.
My answer is Gother.
Look, are you talking about? No, I think he means like in the whole show, not just out of the sins.
Well, if we conclude the entire show, then Twigo's definitely on top. As
I've
the best
only
character.
seen like 3 episodes of Seven Deadly Sins.
Well, worst character in Seven Deadly Sins, I don't really have one, because if Hawk, freaking bastard of a pig, I hate that thing.
I love Hawk.
He's hate Hawk. Hilarious. I'm not saying he isn't overpowered. He is overpowered, but I don't really like Hawk. He just talks way too much, and he doesn't know anything, and he's just pompous.
Hawk's mom was overpowered.
Hawk's mom is one of the most underappreciated characters in the series.
True.
I'm waiting for the Hawk's mom backstory. Like, I don't know, it's gonna come.
We still
Look, I can't believe you didn't include my reply in your video. Like, you showed the person who posted Hawk, and then I replied to that with Hawk's mama.
Yeah, because sorry.
No, you didn't have. You were recon there for a second.
Hawk is a great character to me. He's just like a fun, loving character. But as is the tradition with the Seven Deadly Sins, I have a feeling that as the manga goes on, he will become more and more important, and he is becoming more and more important. So I think, as with all characters in the Seven Deadly Sins, he's not just like he starts off as just like your traditional comedic relief pet character, which we have in many anime, but then he evolves much deeper.
So
as-
Kamikaze Quaddle, great name, says in the chat, Jericho is the worst character, and yeah.
That was the
No
pet
sarcasm
one.
here. I hate her.
What? You hate a good waifu?
Jericho is not a good waifu. How dare you?
How is she not a good
Sully
waifu?
the name of Lord Twigo.
She's just a traditional tsundere. She's hot. She loves Bon. Like, what's wrong?
She is stupid.
Okay, thank you, Recon.
I need an IQ above 47
Thank you for
a
being
good
one
waifu character.
Wow,
She's
just
not-
47.
Except for
not
darkness.
Intelligent at all.
Just 47.
Look, it has to be at least above 47. If it's below
She has to
47,
be at least 47.
exactly. And Jericho, I would say, is probably high 30s.
Jericho's not dumb at all, man.
Whatever.
She's just a tsundere.
Dumb tsundere.
How about Deku? I like him.
I like Deku also. He's solid. As
Yeah,
far
but
Oh
as
yeah,
Would you say Deku is a great character or just a good character?
A great
I say
character.
he's great.
I would say
He's
good.
great.
I would say good.
No,
I would say-
great.
My favorite character. Okay, so I have two favorite characters right now in My Hero Academia. One is Stain, and the best character is Todoroki, hands down. He is.
Oh,
a
you're
great
right.
Of course,
character.
You're right.
I also prefer Todoroki to Deku, and yeah, I would say Deku is a good character, especially as the manga goes on, because he definitely grows as a character. Like first season, even second season of the anime, he's more of just your regular shonen guy, and shonen protagonist. But he does get deeper and evolves more, and stops crying so much in the manga.
I just
right?
got right now. I got a comment on a video saying that Todoroki's a dickhead. Totally random. But
I
whatever.
think
Just
that
pretend.
person meant Bakugo.
I probably did, but apparently there are a lot of. I think he's the number one most popular character in the character polls. Bakugo.
Oh yeah,
Is
I remember
he?
that from
That's
Crunchy-
weird. Yeah, that's
crazy.
Crunchyroll, on Twitter, they said the best character Anime Awards goes to Bakugo.
I know that Seven Deadly Sins, the most popular character is King in Japan.
Yeah, so I
So-
explained why in my video.
Japan has like different views than me, definitely, because I wouldn't be surprised if Bakugo is their favorite. But Bakugo is just a male tsundere. Like, relax, bro.
And he doesn't even needs an IQ over 47.
Well, that's a good thing to mention. Like everyone has different preferences. Like for example, I like Deku more than Todoroki just because I love underdog characters and I love seeing people grow, right?
Break, get out of here.
And it's the same way, like I think Sora from No Game No Life is a good character. And another thing
I'm
I love
with you.
about him.
Yeah, because Sora is the fucking underdog. Like,
No. That
like
wasn't the
underdogs,
segue.
like
That wasn't the segue. That wasn't the segue.
No,
I
that
was
was
just gonna
totally
say-
a disconnected statement.
They were disconnecting segments. I wanted to go into that and say why he was a good character.
I'm
just 'cause
waiting
it's
for
fun to
like
do
5
anime.
characters, and we keep coming up with like Dekus and stuff.
no, because Briggs is like, I like Deku because I like underdog characters, just like I like Sora from.
I didn't say just like. Come on,
No.
put words in
I was
his-
just saying we all have different preferences and we like people for different reasons. I like Deku because he's an underdog character, and I was gonna say I like Sora for a different reason, but I got cut
Because
off
he
like
likes
normal
his
in Rant
sister.
Cafe. But I was
Yeah,
gonna talk
not
about his character
fine.
design as well. 'Cause we haven't talked about character designs at all.
Is it because he likes his sister? Is that why you like him?
Maybe.
Can I
Is it
point out
that
that
sensitive?
Shiro has an IQ of over 47?
Oh my god.
The point is, in terms of, someone said, Caster said in the chat, wasn't I the one that hated Deku? Yes, I did at first until I read the manga, because at the beginning Deku is just like a crybaby, regular protagonist. Like, I'm an everyday person. Oh, I am facing challenges. Now I'm crying. But in the manga, he definitely develops. However, Todoroki is still, to me, the much better character.
What would you do if you were in that situation and everybody had superpowers and even your parents were shitting on you for not having anything and they had
I try to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah,
That's
fuck
the thing.
superpowers.
That's
I'm gonna
the
be a YouTuber.
that's the thing. That's my opinion. That where I differ than I think a lot of people, because I don't just a great character to me is not just relatable. He's not just a self-insert. A great character to me is someone that I can aspire to be like, someone that inspires me to be better, not
Goku.
someone that I can put myself as him and say, oh yeah, this is how I would feel. Like, I want more than that. That can be a good character, but I want more than that.
How
I
about
feel
Ultra
like most
Instinct
people
Goku?
would cry in that instance, or be a crybaby, or feel depressed, or a lot of. I feel like Deku acted accordingly. I mean, especially when everyone else is like, "Oh yeah, you know, you could just do this," and they were just like, you know, talking about shit end jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
he wants
another
to be,
thing is like, I like Deku, but he's very similar to Naruto.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that is another thing. Like, until
Please
the
no.
manga,
We have seen many Deku archetypes before, and it seems from what you're saying is you like the Deku archetype a lot more than you like the Deku character. The shonen protagonist guy who was born with nothing, but then manages to get a 5-leafed clover or 9-tailed fox power.
I'm not even saying that I like that, because I hate Naruto with a burning passion of hatred.
I'm with you.
Kenichi is the best underdog character of all time.
Me?
Kenichi.
Kenichi.
yeah, Naogata is the best underdog.
That's true.
Most definitely. But underdog character, I mean,
Right,
You
I
can't-
love Kenichi. I
it's
think
all
he's a
based
great
off
character.
opinion. That's the whole entire thing, too. Like, I can sit here and say, this is the best. You know, this is the best. This is all just based off opinion, but
All right, so can I explain to you why I think that I obviously have not calculated this out, but I believe that Sakata Gintoki from Gintama, that was recommended a lot in the chat, is the greatest anime character of all time. Are you ready?
Usopp is cooler.
Okay, Usopp is pretty awesome. I'm not talking OP characters. I'm talking greatest characters.
No, I'm talking about, like, when we're talking about the underdog thing. Like, I
Usopp's
had
not an
the-
underdog character. He has
Dude,
no
he was
moral
complete
fiber.
fucking dog shit until he stayed on an island with fucking man-eating
still
island
is.
for 2 years. I
He
know, but
still
he's still
is.
an underdog in the sense that he can hold up on his own by himself.
That's
even
not
though
what an
he's a
underdog
crappy,
character
he'll hold up
is.
by himself.
Okay, let's let Nux talk about something other than One Piece. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was gonna talk about Sakata Gintoki, but Law from One Piece is an amazing.
Yes, oh no, you're right. Yes,
I'm
yes.
joking.
Thanks.
So Sakata Gintoki, the main character of Gintama, he lives in a world that was already dominated by aliens and whatever, and it's not like the world he used to know. He is an epic samurai with one of the most epic backstories that is spoilers-ish. He was known as the White Demon. Oh god, I love this guy. I could like fanboy over him for like the next hour. But he ends up a character that he opens up odd jobs, which is basically you come to him with anything and he'll work it out for you. If it's get a cat out of a tree or if it's fight some rebel ninja lord, I don't know. He'll do anything for you for money. And he is the biggest. It's hard to describe him. Have any of you seen Gintama? Any of you tried?
No,
I have.
nope.
I've
And I
watched
will
quite a
never
bit.
watch
actually.
Gintama in my life.
I am so proud of you, Briggs. Oh man.
Love you too.
I have to watch Gintama because I've seen some like clips of it on YouTube that are hilarious. So I have
It is the funniest anime for sure. Oh man, it's hard to explain Gintoki. He's like the ultimate me. Like if I would try to be an anime character, it would for sure be him. Like laid back, peaceful, epically powerful and serious when he needs to be. Kind of like me.
Yeah, that didn't describe you at all. But I mean, okay.
Okay, man, you like Kamina because you want to emulate Kamina. Gintoki's my spirit animal.
Okay, cool. I'll
I can think of like cool characters that I like, but it's really hard for me to think of like underdog things. But have you guys seen Wolf's Rain?
But we're not limiting this to just underdogs. No.
Okay, like I was trying to think of something good to like throw into there to that mix, but like Wolf's Rain, I really, really love the characters that they have in that and how they develop throughout the series as well. I feel like they had amazing main characters for it and even side characters as well to like help generalize and help the character build up in the story. If you guys have ever seen Wolf's Rain.
I have not.
I saw it way too long ago.
Oh, it's so good. Such a good series.
By the way,
Amazing.
OP Trevster in the chat says, "Can we talk about how bland and stupid Jiren is?" And I think that I agree. Like he's a pretty bland character, but I think it's just because Dragon Ball Super is a fighting anime, so they're way too busy having fights to actually develop Jiren as a character, right? So that's what it
Agreed.
is.
Okay,
He was introduced a little bit before the tournament, but then so far we've just been in the tournament. We got a little bit of his backstory, but yeah, like they just spent too much time on fighting and action, which is what people expect, than backstory. If they spent a lot of time on Jiren's backstory, he would be a better character. But you know how many people would be complaining, oh man, this was a boring episode. This was a boring episode, man, because no one got their ass kicked. Like, you know how it is.
What would you prefer, then, fighting or character development?
Well, there kind of needs to be both. There needs to be like a nice mix.
I agree.
Yeah, bro.
And Naruto does a good job with that because, yes, because when it tells its backstories, for the most part, it blends it with a fight. It's annoying when you're rewatching it, but the first time you're watching it, it just melds it together really nicely.
The show would probably be cool when I was 12.
Well, too bad you're not 12. Well, but Recon Lee versus Gaara is one of the most amazing anime fights of all time, for sure. And the way it was spun with Lee's backstory and Lee's perspective on it, and then Lee lost, it was like the most heartbreaking conclusion to a fight ever. But you were talking about Dragon Ball, and I think Frieza is the most underrated character in Dragon Ball. He is a amazing, brilliant character. Yeah.
I thought he was quite overrated. How can
I say underrated because people talk to him like, oh man, Frieza is like this bad villain guy, and he gets new forms and loses to Super Saiyan Goku. And it's like, that's a shame. Because
I did think back in the Dragon Ball saga, the Frieza saga was super popular and everybody loved it.
Yeah, but
how can Frieza be underrated?
I would like to point out why I think Super is what made him an amazing character.
Oh.
Because
that sounds like a video for another time.
I did not see all of Super, but I saw the Battle of the Gods and the Resurrection of F, which is a great name.
Okay, yeah. So because before you talk about why you think he's a great character, I think he is my favorite villain, but I thought the Resurrection F saga was the worst saga in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah, it was pathetic. But
I didn't like that one at all because Frieza was just like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna kill everybody without any rationality. I'm just gonna train for 4 months and go kill him. Like he wasn't an interesting character.
I did not particularly like the Resurrection of F as far as the saga or as far as the movie, but I did like it. It did one thing for Frieza's character that kind of cemented him as one of my favorite characters.
What?
And that's that. Fine. When he was ruling and he was basically Space Capone Hitler, he was told you can do whatever you want. Don't mess with Majin Buu or Beerus. Right? That was the rules. And therefore, he was far more powerful than everyone else, and he did not need to train. He didn't need to do anything. He was laid back, conquering the universe, and all of a sudden, Super Saiyan Goku kicks his ass, and that's very scary. So when he comes to life, he's like, wow, for the first time in his life, he has to really work on something. Trains for 4 months to unlock his gold form, and that
still gets his ass beat.
and gets his ass beat by Ultra Mega Light Blue Highlighter Goku, which is,
my god, it's just too overplayed now.
which is amazing. But the point about Frieza is he is a freaking lazy character, and if he wouldn't have been lazy through the Namek saga, he would have way overpowered Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah, like I really like actually how Frieza has been in the Tournament of Power. I think Frieza's character has been really interesting in the Tournament of Power because he's doing those classic devious Frieza things where
He's
you're
doing
like
the villain moves for the good team.
Yeah, it's like where does he stand? Kind of like he does shit that could be perceived as villainous and evil, except he's doing it for the benefit of the team, right? And he even like, you know, helps Goku out sometimes, helps Gohan out when you're thinking, is he going to betray him? Is he not? But then he actually helps him. But then he still has that smile on his face where you're like, what is he really planning? Like, I've loved Frieza in the Tournament of Power way more than in the Golden Frieza arc.
No, I like what the Golden Frieza arc did for Frieza. Not that I like that arc. And from what I've seen from from the tournament itself, I've been liking Frieza. And I wanted to, give him some spotlight because...
No, maybe one day Frieza shall unlock Ultra Instinct Frieza. Maybe one day.
That would be pretty beast.
I'd love it. If he can
Evolve,
unlock more of his power, see actually a decent fight from Goku and Frieza for once.
Yeah, Lum King, my boy, says Frieza is a decent character, but he'll never change. And that is an interesting concept, too, because, Frieza doesn't develop as a character. He just kind of, like, tries to outmaneuver people, but his pride and his desire for revenge always screws him at the end. I would like to see him develop in some way.
The whole series of DBZ will never change, and it'll remain the same void that it has always been since 20. Probably how long is DBZ? DBZ is about 20 years old now. Well, probably
Well,
older
it
than that.
started in like the mid '80s with Dragon Ball.
Yeah, okay, so it's about 20 years old now, and it's still doing the same shit that it's been doing since then, since it very first came out. One villain comes out, you think he can't beat it, and he's gonna get another form. Damn it, he's gonna keep on getting another form until all of them are gone, and that'll
I've
never
heard
happen.
so many people say the same about One Piece.
I
The
haven't.
One Piece is
I haven't heard
completely
anyone say that.
different. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody say that. One Piece is
One
so
Piece-
completely
okay.
different.
Well, this is about characters, not series. Maybe we'll do One Piece versus Dragon Ball. Not really a competition.
Has Frieza ever partnered up with Goku before?
Well, he kind of is right now.
Yeah, during the tournament of
Have you
power.
guys played Dragon Ball Fighters Z? I don't know.
No, I
if you-
have not.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
have.
really
One
have,
of the
though.
stories.
Stories in
It-
Fighter Z is not canon. Like
No, it
it's-
is. Not kidding.
Oh, that sucks.
What?
I have played it, Recon.
Oh, that's good because in the second scenario, they actually team up, which is pretty cool.
By the way,
With Cell as well.
Briggs said earlier that character design is an interesting thing too. It's like how a character actually looks. Like personally, I come from like a writing background, so for me, it's always about the story rather than the appearance. So I'm not one to pay too much attention to animation and character design. Like there are people who really do that, like Digibro, like that's his main thing. But that is something we can talk about because yeah, if a character is designed to look really stupid, even if they're a cool character, it's hard to relate to them. Like you'll have a harder time. So the design does play a role. Like if you look at how like someone like Lelouch is designed or Kamina, like these are such epically designed characters that you see them and you're like, yo, this guy's cool. Even if I know nothing about him, this guy is cool.
Yeah, I think character design is the first thing you see, right? Before you get to like see the person develop or see anything about the story, it's always the first thing that catches your eye. I personally love like colorful character designs, but I think it also has to match like the story. For example, No Game No Life, they get transported to this like crazy colorful world, so it makes sense for them to be like colorfully drawn. In Attack on Titan, it's very grim and dark.
Bleak.
So like if they were like super colorful, it just wouldn't make sense. So I just like when it's like a classroom setting, and meanwhile everything's so like colorful.
Attack
like,
on
they're just, like,
Titan needs lollipop colored waifus.
it
Ooh,
would
I
make it
really like
10 out of 10,
Assassination
right?
Classroom's kind of style with its characters and Koro Sensei and like how it kind of still has like the bright aspect, but like
Yeah, the
dark
blanched out
grimness.
colors.
Yeah,
But
like
you got like a mutant alien type thing, so it makes sense. It's a crazy like atmosphere in that classroom, so it's okay for them to be over the top, like
I
drawn
love
and
it.
designed.
Now,
I
once
love that.
Seven Deadly Sins, since that's a thing, Bon has an amazing character art.
Heavily inspired from Dragon Ball Z, actually.
Yeah, I really like.
Well, I mean, I
Bond's
think we all agree Lord Twigo is possibly the greatest character design in the series. Look at the guy. He is
I really
freaking iconic.
I really like Bond's character design, except his clothes are so impractical. Like
You
now
know
he
what
has
I love about his clothes?
he has
Can
a
I,
coat
can I
with
go
a-
on
they're
his
not
clothes
on.
rant?
at the
Clothes
back.
rant.
Like, why is there a hole at the back of your coat, Bond? It serves no fucking purpose,
Might
man.
tell. Okay, and Jericho, who's wearing armor except for on her chest. Come on.
So as the fact guy, Bond actually stole that off
know,
of
we
a
saw it.
thief. So like
Can,
he was
can I
like,
please tell you
No, I
my
mean,
favorite
his
part
new
about his
outfit,
clothes?
go for it,
New
go for
outfit
it.
in season 2.
So
Season
let's
2.
do clothes rant. His red clothes with the spiky shoulders. First of all, it's iconic. Second of all, he stole it from a thief. Third of all, when it was destroyed, he found someone else with the same clothing to steal it from him. How inspiring! There were two guys walking around with the same clothing, but that's not my favorite part.
the
My
Sailor
all-time-
Scouts have the most iconic clothes ever.
My all-time favorite part about Bond's clothing is that he got into a fight with. Well, he tried to stop Meliodas a few times when he was rampaging demon form, and Meliodas cuts him in half right where his clothes stop. Like, because it only goes like a little past his chest, right? So that's where it cut him in half, not to wreck the clothes. Meliodas,
Does the guy
even
only
though-
care about his fucking clothes?
even though Meliodas was in demon form, he controlled himself enough not to ruin his clothes.
Hey, Bond cares about his branding, okay? So he wants to find the same clothes. Otherwise, everything screws up, right? Like
But
you
you
gotta
have
have-
like
That's what makes
couple
him
guys.
special.
no,
that's one of the
Nikon,
things that
right
make him
now we're
special.
talking about character design, but there's many other things to Bond that are really interesting. By the way, The Unknown Otaku donated $5 to me to ask Nux a question, which I love.
This makes sense. I appreciate it.
I love that. Everyone who wants to donate money to me so that you can ask Nux a question, by all means. Love you guys. Says, hey, Nux, you should debate Seth the programmer. Nux is great friends with Seth. About that stuff in your vid. He says his DM/server is open for debates. If you
I know. Okay.
So I feel like this is a challenge, Nux.
Look, I laid it out there that I disagreed and said that Saitama would beat anyone in Dragon Ball. And if Seth wants to challenge me and come to me and say, yo, Nux, first of all, I'm not worthy of your presence. Second of all, can I challenge you to debate? I'd be like, sure thing, no problem, bro. I respect you. But I'm not going to challenge him. I'm doing a video on why Saitama is stronger than that.
Like, that's been killed a long time ago. Like, a very, very long time ago by really, really, like, brilliant, amazing YouTubers. Even kids that weren't even anti-YouTubers came on and made videos about that of, like, why Goku couldn't beat Saitama.
Yeah, but none of them really come across the explanations that I do because Seth made a video why even Krillin would beat Saitama.
Planet Namek. You need to watch Planet Namek. He was one of my buddies, and that's all he does is talk about DBZ on his channel. That's it. And he changed it up, though, recently. But he came out with a video, I think. It was either him or his friend. So you're able to see through, like, his channels list. But they came out with a video, like, descriptively, like, stating like how Goku grown up and like how there's no possible way. Like, he just went into such detail of the character and like their design, their character development, their power, how they got their powers.
The video I'm working on is basically on 3 levels why he would win. Firstly, just stats. Like, I'm gonna pull out some stats. Second of all, we don't know why Saitama is this. First of all, Saitama is an amazing character. Like, we're talking about great characters, and we didn't talk about Saitama. First of all, one of the most iconic character designs, and second of all, a brilliant character.
True.
Yeah, Saitama's really cool because he's such a dichotomy of regular, everyday, neat / incredibly overpowered fighter, right? So it's a really cool concept. However, I do not think that Saitama could beat Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. I do not think that Saitama could touch Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku because he is way too fast.
One punch.
The good news is this is not a debate, so we won't need to talk about it. After you see my video,
you can't one punch someone you can't touch.
Let's just wait.
First of all, he one punched
the Omni King,
the atmosphere.
Zeno, the Omni King, could erase the entire universe that Saitama is in. So there is no way that Saitama could do anything to Zeno.
Okay, so first you'll watch my video, then you'll tell me your complaint.
Watch Nuts' video.
I will, and I will point out why you're wrong. And then
I don't mind. Go for it.
You will refuse. You will refuse to debate me like you just refused to debate Seth the programmer.
At some point, I feel like Goku.
Why do I need to
You're
debate
right about Zeno, because that wouldn't be a fight, right? Zeno's just a god. He has no fighting ability. Just like zap, your universe is gone. Well, I think Goku versus Saitama would actually be a fight. Exactly. I don't know if you guys want to debate it, but I still think Saitama would win.
Yeah.
I don't think Saitama is nearly as fast as Mastered Ultra Instinct. I don't think so.
So
I think Saitama is just a gag at the end of the day that could defeat anyone.
The issue here is you're coming from the angle that Saitama has stats, and you can debate like, oh, Saitama could jump from here to there and this long, so therefore he's this powerful. That's not what Saitama is. That's not the character they made. First of all, the guy explained that the reason why he's so powerful is because he does 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. Does that make sense? Do you think after you do 100 push-ups, he'll be able to one-punch the moon? I don't think so. His powers... It does not once say. I don't want to talk for the next like 10 minutes.
You just got to think of how it was written, how the manga designer written this, and how he thought of it and process is one punch. If nobody can beat him, and because he was written that way, that's how he is.
If you look at the powers in the series, you have Crab Guy, right? The guy that turned into a crab monster. Do you remember why he turned into a crab monster? It was because he loved crab. There's a Stretchy Tongue Guy loved lizards. Car Monster Guy loved cars. Do you see the trend here? Garo from the manga, he's the perfect example. He wanted to be the strongest villain. So he became the strongest villain. No heroes could touch him except Saitama. Now,
so what did Saitama want it to be?
Saitama wanted to be the strongest. And he is therefore the strongest. He will one-punch anyone because that's what his power is.
Well, see, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong because you just said it. He has to one punch
No,
anyone. And
he
by the
is
way,
unbeatable. He
by
is
the
the
way,
strongest.
you're wrong because he couldn't beat a fly. He couldn't one punch the fly. So it doesn't work every time. Second of all,
Every time.
you can't beat someone if you can't touch them because they're too fast for you to one punch.
He one
How
punch
was
the
Goku
atmosphere.
written? How
He
is
didn't touch
how was
that.
Goku written?
It doesn't
Goku was
matter
written
now.
in
You can't
manga.
say that is not an argument to say this character is written to be the strongest. That's not an argument. That's like me saying inventing a character that anyone who tries to fight him will automatically melt.
That's why he has him. That's exactly what it's like. That's
Okay,
exactly
so that
what it's
means
for.
I just came
Can
up
we
with-
not
I
discuss
just
power?
came up with a character called Melty Man.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sick
The
name.
whole definition of this character that is if anyone considers fighting them, they melt immediately.
Yeah, they
That's a
do.
funny
Saitama
character.
and
That would make a
based
funny
on-
series.
So if
Based
you
on your writing, he wins.
One Punch Man, Saitama is done. He melts. It's over.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the author.
Now he gets it. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. Because
not
of how
exactly.
he
These are
created that
two different
character.
worlds.
The point
right?
is, Saitama
Yeah.
was never injured. He was never hurt because he's the strongest. It's called One Punch Man because that's how he fights. He doesn't need to physically punch the guy. You see, for example, when he killed the Sea King guy, he basically punched him in the chest. But if you notice, it also stopped the rain above the city. Yeah, he didn't punch the clouds.
Like
He
it's supposed to be a comedy too. That's
He
why.
could look. If he was fighting Goku, I wouldn't put it past him. He snaps his fingers, and in all directions, all of a sudden, a massive shockwave comes out and disintegrates Goku. I would be totally fine with that.
Oh my god.
Remember his
But
punch
he's
on
not the
the
strongest,
fuck, I
though.
can't
Like,
remember the
I'm
robot
like,
guy. Like just the
there
mountains
there
behind
are
him.
limits to Saitama. There are limits to how
There are
powerful-
no limits to how powerful Saitama is when he.
Couldn't
This is
kill
not
the
the
mosquito,
subject.
bro.
Like I get where
Kill the
Animax
mosquito.
coming from though. Like I totally get where he's coming from because if you are looking in that kind of like if you are looking at these guys with stats, like yeah, I could see Goku having the upper hand, but the only reason why I said that is because Saitama was not only written as like, you know, that anime character in that action show, but it was also meant to be a comedy as well. Like yeah, nobody can beat
Saitama
him.
is not from One Punch Man. Someone asked. Saitama is not a character to scale. You're not supposed to scale the guy. You can scale
Yeah.
Naruto. You can scale. I don't know, Ichigo. You can scale Goku. They're scalable.
I
They
don't really
have
know where we're
limits.
having this conversation. I mean, One Punch Man is a parody. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but even if you look at him,
No,
not
see,
okay,
I
whatever.
disagree with your logic.
I disagree with that logic.
I
too.
cannot accept your logic that because One Punch Man is a comedy character, he automatically beats everyone.
I'm
Like,
not
that's
dealing with
No,
comedy.
no, we're not saying that. We're
I'm not
that
saying
the whole
comedy.
fun was that he can't beat anything, or no one can beat him. I'm sorry. Like that was like the
But no,
comedy
in
thing
his
of
own
Christmas.
universe. That's the whole point. When you put him in a universe where other rules apply and there are characters created in other ways, you have to then use logic, not just he
But
was
they have to
designed
apply
never
to
to
his
lose.
universe.
But you can't
too.
explain. Can
They
you
have to
explain to
apply
me
to both
why he's so
universes.
powerful? Why is he so powerful, Animax?
So what?
Is it brute
doesn't
strength?
matter.
Is it brute
It's like,
strength?
why is Zeno so powerful? Like because
But that's
he's
the.
Zeno.
But we understand his powers. Those are the powers he was given. We understand Goku's
by
powers.
who?
We understand
By
that he could
who?
shoot laser beams from I don't know, from his asshole. He could do it. I have faith in him.
Who did Zeno get his powers from? Who gave it to him?
Okay, who created the world?
Oh my god.
We don't know.
God. Who gave God those powers?
I think that's a good time to end the stream, boys.
What's
Yeah,
happening?
I'm slowly sitting back down into my chair, like I'm not saying anything.
The point is, you can't say what you guys have been saying because if you have a character with a magical ability like Merlin,
Thank you, Unknown
Who's-
Otaku, for the donation.
for
My
example,
PayPal link is on somewhere. It's nuxtaku@gmail.com. Feel free to send me money.
if you
The
you
conversation
have-
is now
Please
over.
don't beg for money, Nux.
only send him
Come on.
money, if he debates Seth the Programmer live on Rant Cafe.
It will not be live on Rant Cafe, probably.
But my point is, if you have a character that uses magic, for example, rather than just physical powers, and their magic is to trap someone in another dimension, then they could very easily trap Saitama in another dimension where they have
But
no
he
way of
would
coming
not
back
lose.
to this dimension, thereby defeating them.
No, I get what
no,
Animax
he
saying.
wouldn't beat him. Saitama would be totally fine in the other dimension.
No, but
That's
he's
why
right. If somebody because you gotta think of that too. Like if you're throwing Saitama into a magical world, it kind of like you know, come on. Like, if he's thrown
Okay,
into a
here's
parallel
the thing,
universe
here's
and
the
he
thing.
can't escape,
Saitama-
he's done.
Saitama is from a comedy parody world. Let's say, like Animax example, a guy comes in and he transports him to another world, and he ends up in like the Dragon Ball world, and the rules from Saitama's world do not apply with Dragon Ball, so it doesn't match up. So of course Saitama will lose against Goku.
But at the end of the day, Saitama was a fictional character. He was written to be like limitless and unbeatable. I'm still agreeing that if some magic wizard like Merlin or like Zeno, for example, snap him out of existence, he would lose. But I'm just saying Saitama in a fight, in a fist fight, cannot be defeated. But against Zeno, yeah, it's like you don't exist anymore, right?
What? Oh, but Briggs. But what about Saitama versus Estarossa?
Well,
Yeah, who's that?
That's
Who's
manga
that?
stuff. Past
Okay.
me. Unfortunately,
Like, bro, with the full counter. Oh,
I was actually thinking that, like I guess in that case they would kill each other.
yeah,
no,
because
Saitama cannot die. to fight.
Estarossa's power is full counter, but for physical attacks instead of magical attacks. And One Punch Man's attacks are physical, and he one punch beats everyone he attacks, unless his attack is turned on himself using full counter.
Well,
no.
I guess at that point you would have to go into stats because full counter you still have to be able to keep up with your opponent, right? You can't just counter something if you can't keep up with the speed of the attack. So I think that's the only case
There we
where
go.
a brute force just like straight on attack wouldn't work. But I guess now you'd have to go into the stats for that. I agree.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, obviously this is never going to happen because these are different fictional worlds, different rules. But
Yeah.
if we're going to pin them against each other, then we have to look into these, you know, the logics of the different worlds. Are they facing each other in their own worlds, in another neutral world? Like, what are their powers? Because that's the only way to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just for fun. Like, it's never going to really happen. But I think you can't just say because this character was written to be the strongest, then he is the strongest.
But
compared to other worlds.
Why don't you consider his power to be the strongest?
Well, the thing is though, all your examples are like some magical ability or some like crazy technique or something.
But you can't
Well,
And
explain
that's the
to me.
thing is all
But
of us,
Goku's
this is all opinions.
here's a
None
good
of us are
example.
Goku is
factual.
super
Here's a good
strong. He doesn't
example.
have a full counter. He can't zap someone or melt someone out of existence.
You guys
Goku
know the
fights with
character
his
from
fist.
Boku no Hero, the guy who can touch anyone and he copies everyone's quirks. What was his name?
Naito.
Yeah, whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
this guy. What if he touches Saitama and he gets his powers?
Ah.
That would be a good fight because they are both
Saitama is
similar
quirkless.
power levels.
Saitama's
So none of
quirkless.
them would
Oh, good one. Touche.
None of them would exceed each other. So if he touches them, they would have both similar power levels. So I don't think they would both die. The fight would go on and on forever and ever.
Briggs already thrust and parried on you.
I full countered the shit out of that.
Anyway, moving on.
And we'll see you all next time.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of great characters. One other thing I wanted to bring up is, for example, Lelouch from Code Geass, because Lelouch has a really great backstory, like a really interesting one where he obviously struggled, he faced betrayal, he faced exile, but he's also a very memorable, interesting character with interesting quirks, brilliant intelligence that is actually based in, like, you can figure out what he's doing and thinking. It's not as ridiculous as No Game No Life, where they're like, oh, we're 18 steps ahead of you, and then you just like have to marvel at how brilliant we are. But the writer doesn't actually bother explaining it to you in a realistic way. And Lelouch also faces crazy things throughout the series. He has his own philosophy for why he's doing what he's doing. He faces guilt and other challenges as he goes along. So that's why someone like Lelouch is a great character. Someone like Suzaku is not. Fuck Suzaku. I don't care if someone in the chat is going to say that. But yeah, Lelouch, also C2, I think, is a great character because of her backstory, because of her everything, yeah.
Yeah, Lelouch is probably the best anti-hero in anime.
Better than Light?
Better than Light. Way better than Light.
What
Come
about
on,
Tanya
man.
from Tanya the Saga of Evil.
Yeah,
She's
you're
a great
putting
anti-villain.
Saga of Tanya the Evil in the same ballpark as
Well,
Death
it's
Note.
because he doesn't watch good anime. Like, he doesn't watch Code Geass, he doesn't watch Gurren Lagann, so he can't understand. Rika,
Dude,
you need to
Death
watch
Note-
Code Geass and Gurren Lagann.
Yeah,
You will like
There
them.
are look, I believe you. If you say it's good, I know. Okay, I know it's good. But there's too many that I'm currently watching, and there's so many anime coming up. So I like it's just I
Yeah,
don't
but
have
the
time.
ones you're watching are trash, Recon. Like
No,
I'm
it's
saying, I'm telling you
not.
for yourself. For yourself, you will really like.
Okay,
Code
tell me some of the trashiest anime this season.
You will. I'm saying
95%.
that's topic for another day. But you will genuinely like Code Geass and Gurren Lagann. That's what I'm telling you for yourself to watch it. Because based on what you tell me, like why you like Kirito and stuff like that, I know that you will like these anime. That's what I'm telling you. If you don't want to do it, it's your own
because
loss.
I haven't watched other anime. I know.
Like I'm saying, if you don't want to do it, it's your own loss. But you watch a lot of stupid current stuff.
I know
that
that's
good.
why people say I
He's
have
like,
a
I'm here
taste
for
in
you.
anime. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
He's here for you. He's just trying to enrich your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what makes us all special. That's what makes us all different here in Rant Cafe.
And some of us are
Different
more
people, different
special than others.
personalities. We all have fun
Nugs,
together.
yeah, I knew that was coming. Any other character that we really need to talk about before
The JoJo's.
we wrap up?
No.
Okay, I haven't seen JoJo's. I definitely character design wise, they're definitely memorable. I'll give you that.
It's
Pop
true.
Team Epic.
That's a
No.
good place.
I wanted to say that I think Lelouch is a better character than Light, but I still enjoy Death Note more as a story than Code Geass, especially when you include the second season.
See, those were two of my first anime ever, and I loved both, so I can't really, make that.
Can't compete against him.
It's hard. It is very close.
If I were to compare them, I would say I like Code Geass better. Just I have a lot of reasonings behind it. I preferred R2 of Code Geass to the last 12 episodes of Death Note for sure. And also I like Lelouch so much more than Light. So much more than Light. For so many reasons, but whatever, that's kind of for another day. How many of you have seen Hunter x Hunter?
I have.
I'm
Because-
in the process, guys. In the process of
No
finishing it.
way! Where are you up to?
I do it like while I'm riding the stationary bike, so don't.
So where are you up to? That's like what, 20 minutes a day?
I try to do like 2 to 3 episodes a session, but like I'm like that after the exams arc, after the Zoldyck household, I'm into the next arc, episode 30 something.
Oh, so you're in the tower.
Yeah, going
That's where
into
I stopped watching it.
All right. So it gets the season after the tower one is the York New arc. And that's where you see that Hisoka is one of the greatest anime characters of all time.
cool. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Hisoka is... Okay, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to spoil anything. You need the full experience to yourself to appreciate the awesomeness of Hisoka.
I hope it explains why he dresses like a weird pedophilic clown.
That's later. That's in the manga.
All right.
I love how you said that. Like you were so disturbed. Like
No, but like his appearance, it's like the corniest type of like clown.
I'm telling
too.
you,
It's not
I
like-
agree.
it's
I
not like
agree.
Right when I
like
first
the
saw him,
Joker.
I was
got,
like
like,
so
little
turned off by like how
stickers on
weird
his
he is.
face.
But
Okay, I
he's
know
so
that you
amazing.
guys are so sick of the fucking One Piece reference, but his outfit and how he looks reminds me of like the men on
Bon
the Queer
Clay!
Island.
Of what? Reminds you
The
of what?
men on the Queer Island, where Yvonne came from.
Oh my god. He reminds me of, his outfit reminded me of Bon Clay, you know, number 2.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yes, Bon. Yes.
God, I love that guy.
there's a Queer Island arc on One Piece.
It's
They
just
call
call
of
it-
course
I
they
don't-
put Sanji there. So
Because,
perfect.
like I was
Queer
watching
Island.
it with Zan, and he said that they don't call it Queer Island in the manga, but they do in Crunchyroll.
No, they
when
don't,
we
they
were
don't call it
watching
like that
it.
in the manga.
They call them queers in Queer Island.
Interesting.
Crunchyroll.
Interesting. I also like in Code Geass. I also like Colin's character a lot. I really relate to her character, in terms of like her backstory and her desire to like fight for justice and what's right. So yeah, there's a lot of, I think, when you have a good story and a lot of good characters, you can really make them shine. And I think Code Geass, for all its faults, because it's not a perfect story, obviously we know that there's some stuff that seems kind of like wow, but it didn't have a manga, so it was kind of going along as they made the story. But has a lot of great characters. Seven Deadly Sins, really, really great characters and backstories. They're all fleshed out.
Fate Zero.
Fate Zero is good too.
How could you? How could you?
Well, I prefer like Seven Deadly Sins character development to Fate Zero, but of course, Seven Deadly Sins is at like
High School
258
DxD.
chapters now in the manga. Fate Zero is a 13 episode anime.
25 episodes.
I'm freaking giving Nux a
25?
heart attack.
What
And
about High School DxD? What about
Fate
Attack on
Zero.
Titan? Those have
Fate
some good
Zero.
character development.
Attack on Titan has good characters. Like I don't know if
Levi.
it has.
Levi has an amazing backstory.
Yeah, look, Levi is a great character, and I also really like Eren and Mikasa. I know a lot of people don't, but again, Eren maybe not a great character, but definitely a good character because again, I relate to him. I relate to someone who is, who goes through a tough childhood and who is really adamant in correcting the injustices done to them, no matter what the cost. Like I can relate to that, and I respect that.
Kamina.
And I-
Are you reading
We
the
didn't
manga?
talk about Kamina?
Wait, are any of you guys reading
How's
the
it
Attack on Titan manga?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
No.
Okay, now I don't know,
Don't spoil, please.
I need to ask a spoiler. I really need
Don't
to know
ask, don't-
something.
don't
I
you
need
dare
to
do it.
know.
Just
Don't you
Twitter.
dare.
Do it on DM on Twitter. No,
Okay.
yeah, I reviewed the chapters here on the channel, so
Okay, because there's just one thing that is driving me bonkers that I need to know so bad, and it's just killing me.
yeah,
You
just
can do another time, not here.
DM me on Twitter. I review the manga, so I know everything. I know everything about Attack on Titan. But yeah, okay, I think we can wrap it up, guys. We talked about some awesome characters.
What about-
How-
we
how
haven't
did we not talk about
DxD.
Kamina?
We're not going to
There's
talk
a
about
new
DxD
season coming out.
Recon because it does not have great characters. Okay, come on.
Yes, it does.
It's got
trope-
great plot, unbelievable
Trope
round plot.
characters that are just tropes that are one-dimensional. No.
And if you want to know about Kamina, go watch the last episode of Rant Cafe.
Yeah, because it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So none of you are excited
Someone
for the
did not
new
mention
DxD?
Simone, which you love Simone.
Don't worry, Recon, I'll
His
watch it.
development.
Yay! Someone is with me.
Okay. Anyhow, thanks everyone for joining us again. Another great episode of Rant Cafe where we had to spill some Saitama knowledge on Nux. I wonder if he'll still have the guts to make that video after I just boom.
Well, I'm happy you did because now I get to point out all the stupid points that Seth is going to be making. Like, oh, he can't touch Shigoku because he's fast. Now, that's great. Thank you for spitting out that idiocy that I can easily fight back.
Now we'll see. Unknown Otaku donates $5 more to say that One Punch Man is a gag, and he wants to argue why he is a gag. So I don't know. You can get in touch with the Unknown Otaku, and you guys can talk about why One Punch Man is a gag. But that's not gonna save you in an actual argument, my friend Nux Taku.
No, I agree. The gag fight's not a fight.
Okay, good. So I look forward to your video if you have the courage to make it.
Awesome.
If you have the courage to make
I'm
it.
still waiting since Nux promised me he's gonna do a video of Kirito singing of how awesome he is.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, he-
that-
yeah, I don't know what
still
happened with
waiting
that.
for that shit.
We're still waiting for that, Nux.
Okay, so
I'm still
I want to
waiting.
hear what's been happening. So first of all, I got a singer to actually sing the part, and it turned out
Oh, wow.
amazing. I wrote the script, singer sang the part. Freaking amazing job, I might add. I edited the audio. I gave it to a professional audio editor that works with the bridges, and he did it, and it sounds amazing. Then I got this professional AMV and a bridge editor to actually put it together nicely, and he kind of fell off the face of the planet. So
Fuck.
we're kind of stuck
Please
there.
find someone else. Find someone else.
Nux, stop delegating literally every part of the process to other people, bro. You gotta
I
step
can't
up.
do that. I can't do what I'm
You
asking
gotta
him to
step
do.
up and you gotta sing the female lead, man. You gotta do it.
Don't
Wait,
know how good
You
my
need to find someone
soprano
else
is,
to do
Dad.
it then.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Leave a like if you enjoy Rant Cafe. Before we go, I'll have everyone again tell you who they are and what they do. All their links are in the description. And then we're back again next week for probably talking about how Dragon Ball Super will end. So might get some special guests who actually watch Dragon Ball Super, since I don't think most people here even are caught up.
I watched the dub, not the sub.
I'm like 2 episodes to 3 episodes behind.
Then you
I
can
watched
catch
Dragon
up
Ball
next week and we can talk.
Yeah, I thought so,
But
if
yeah,
you need me,
Briggs,
catch up.
since you're here. Tell us what you do and who you are.
I am Briggs from the YouTube channel All Day Anime. I explain every little detail that you need to know about your favorite characters. Oh, characters! Nice little segue there. My favorite characters are in One Piece, Seven Deadly Sins, and Kenichi the Mighty Disciple. So check those shows out. And yeah,
and he does Q&As.
And
And
he
the Briggs
believes
Q
that
is
Hawk's
legendary.
mom is far superior than Lord Twigo as a character.
I think Hawk's mom.
I'm just gonna
would
go
one
wash
punch
my ears
Saitama.
out.
And you're right to say that, Briggs. Noxtaku, who are you and what do you do?
Yo, Nux Taku. I do anime YouTube videos, whether it's parody, whether it's satire, analysis, or anything else. I'm also not afraid to share the right opinions, even though it's not politically correct in the anime community, as you can see. That is all.
Will we ever see your
I don't
face?
care what
Nux?
you say, but if you talk shit Gurren Lagann in my presence, I will censor you, bro.
Look, man, I give the anime the respect they deserve, so I praise Gurren Lagann because I think it's a brilliant show. But on the other hand, if it's not good, I don't mind saying it's not.
No, yeah, I don't care what you say about any other show, but Gurren Lagann, we just praise it. We praise Gurren Lagann.
We praise the sun.
Not for
Sorry.
my sake, for the sake of humanity. Nawagata,
course.
to you.
I'm Nawagata. I do anime news. I am a full-time artist now, and I'm going to be doing live
Whoa.
streams on Twitch.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do live streams on
Awesome. Yeah,
Twitch
look
now
forward
every
to
weekend.
that. I want to see some of your art, Nawa.
Oh, it's all
post
it's
it on Twitter.
I post them on Twitter, and there's all of it's on my Instagram. I always post it all on my Discord too.
Other links you might need to know, I guess. We Nawa on Twitter, you can find her as Nawagata, and PayPal for Nux Taku. Okay, fine.
PayPal is Nux.
Yeah.
Now,
if
can you do
give
some
Nux
live streams
money-
and show your life?
if you give-
some drawing?
If you give Nux money, make sure that in the note, you know how you can send like a message in with the donation. Make sure you say Goku beats Saitama.
0 times out of
Yeah,
10.
So
I
that-
dare you
that way-
guys to. I dare
that way
all of you
He'll
to send
get
me money and say
but
Goku
he'll
beats
still
Saitama.
be pissed. So it's perfect. Anime Recon to you.
Honestly, I'd be very proud of the fan base for coming up with something like that.
Top donator gets Nux mute.
Recon to you.
All right, what up, my boys? It's your boy Recon, and I do them top 10 anime. And if you're running out of anime, just come to my channel, and you'll find a bunch of anime that you can hopefully watch and add to your anime list. everybody
AMV
knows-
quality.
But everybody knows that I have the shittiest taste in anime, so come and make fun of me. Woohoo!
Stop being proud of that and do something about it, Recon. But thank you.
I was actually
I'm
thinking-
proud of it. That's
Recon,
what makes me
in
special.
your videos, maybe in the titles, add AMV, because that's what a lot of it is. So I don't know.
The
Maybe it
edits
can
are
help.
fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, great job with editing.
Your taste, not
Yeah.
so much, but
I'm sure it takes a lot of work. So yeah. Thank you guys again for
Oh,
joining
hell
us.
yeah, it
Everyone
does.
in the chat, everyone on the panel, everyone who watches this after the fact. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
bang!
Love you all. Watch Kirito, watch SAO, watch everything.
Fuck Sasuke.